Welcome back to the third episode of the Registry podcast, brought to you by Western Youth Authority and Millennial Sound. Today we have We Are Skywalkers.
Hey, we out here.
Of course, this is Giraffa.
And Spicy Brown. All right, so what was your guys' how'd you guys meet, first of all?
We met in high school.
We met in high school.
Yeah,
it was his, what was it?
It was my freshman year.
Yeah. And I think it was my sophomore going into junior year. And we met in math class. Being dicks.
Super
But
dicks.
he was writing poetry and I was working on beats, so we kind of like just
Took to each other like fly to honey.
pause. But,
Pause.
we hung out, started working like with each other's craft and stuff, making sure like he was rapping on time, and because he just wrote poetry and write raps,
Okay.
so he was more listening to like rock and stuff.
Emo and shit. Trying to get this
We try to be live
smooth
out
ass
here.
table to stand still.
We live out here.
We live out
Y'all
here.
see the difference.
See, Texas.
It's lit.
But yeah, no. So we met in high school. It's cool. We just do a little interview like that. I'm down. Just neck up. Fuck it. Hey, we lit. All right. But yeah, so it was high school. Yeah, we met in high school. We kind of really started working on just music, just kind of developing the sound. We actually started out as a 4-man group
Oh, right on.
a while back. Yeah, we had his cousin and then our homeboy Cameron Blood, who was a part of the group. We called ourselves Comeback Music back then.
Comeback music.
Comeback Music.
Nice.
It's the
So,
name of the sound now.
so when did you guys start actually making music?
Really focused.
Like a
Yeah.
year, like a year after we met.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like working shit out, making loops and finding.
Originally, he
making
wanted to be a
samples.
producer, just like a
Yeah.
straight
Mhm.
producer, and he wanted me to be the rapper. But then he was like, he actually taught me how to rap.
Okay.
That was the whole
Yeah.
thing.
I was like, I can rap.
Right on.
So I started rapping. Other two of the group kind of fell out, so they're doing their own thing. We, I guess, just because we were more in proximity with each other, we were like living with each other, so it's just easier for us to like make the music.
Right.
So, long story short, we put out over the course of like 9 projects worth of stuff that we kind of shelved, just regarded as kind of like practice. But like, I guess the last maybe 2 years,
We're kind of the real focus on getting everything built and
taking it more like
Right.
seriously as like
As artists.
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
making it more like a job instead of like, oh yeah, you know, I rap.
I just rap for fun type shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah, because I've started to see you guys pop up like really recently, especially from that first Reggie show.
Yeah, the one earlier this year.
Shouts out to
was
Reggie.
awesome. Yeah, shouts out to Reggie. Shouts out to Speaks for bringing us on, because we were actually special guests for his set.
Oh, right on.
For that one.
Yeah, dude, Speaks Geek is he's on some shit too.
Shouts out
Bro.
to Speaks Geek.
Fucking genius.
Waiting room coming soon.
Oof. Fire, bro. But yeah, so we started. Speaks actually introduced us into the Pomona scene. We actually just moved back down from Northern California, and we met him about 2-3 months after we moved down.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of working on shit together, you know, kind of getting things cracking. He kind of motivated us, and we kind of motivated him. And then he started doing his shit, and he's fucking rocking it, dog.
Yeah.
Like just making all the good moves, just killing it.
Where in NorCal were you guys staying?
We living in Vallejo.
Vallejo.
But we were actually working in San Francisco. We were pile drivers at the time.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Shouts out to the union.
shouts out to keeping niggas paid. But yeah, we came back down. Shit just wasn't popping the way that we wanted it to. So we were like, we just gotta come back down. Not as many opportunities as you know we have in the areas out down here. You know,
Right.
like for music specifically.
Okay.
There's a bunch of great like academies and stuff like that for music, but there wasn't really like the San Francisco scene is very different from down here.
Oh yeah, San Francisco's still on that like whole indie rock fad. Like that's always been what it's like.
Exactly.
They're more on like rock, lyrical stuff. They don't really like.
They're not about just going to a party, popping some Molly and chilling out.
Nah, dude. They want to smoke. They want to smoke weed and ride their fixed gear bikes to go get some pokey, dude. Like that's what it's like.
Exactly.
I don't even know any rappers from San Francisco. Thinking about it now,
Just sandals.
aside from like Lil B.
They're from Oakland.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lil
Right,
B's
like,
from Oakland.
They're all
Yeah.
from like
The other side of the bridge.
Side of the
Yeah.
bridge.
Yeah.
you don't see here niggas like, oh, I'm from San Fran. They're like, no, I'm from Oakland.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
like,
Berkeley.
yeah.
Berkeley,
Yeah.
dude, I swear, a lot of people think Berkeley's a nice city, and it's cool in the college district. But like, Berkeley's hood is fuck, dude.
No, definitely. It's the realest shit out there. It's
Yeah, if you're out there in NorCal, don't like, man. East Oakland is damn, dude. East Oakland is wild. I had a buddy who went to East Oakland once. Like he got in there by accident, and a cop pulls him over. And he's the cop's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, we got lost." And the cop's like, "Dude, just run these next lights, get out of here. It's fine." And he's like, "What?" Yeah. He's like,
Damn.
East Oakland's some shit, dude. Like, mad respect for East Oakland, but like,
mad respect for anyone, so definitely.
like, dude, same with Santa Barbara. I found out that Santa Barbara is like,
Oh no, it's fresh as fuck out there.
dude, it's fucking gnarly. Fucking shouts out Sad Boy Loco.
Hey.
That fool,
Right.
fool gets down. Dude,
Yeah.
Sad Boy Loco's a G.
So who some of your biggest inspirations in, I guess, hip hop or just musically in general?
Are we speaking for each other? You gonna speak for yourself? We're speaking for ourselves.
Yeah, speak for yourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's like you never do. I mean,
Kanye, Gorillaz,
Yeah.
Lupe, rap, Kanye, production, Kanye,
Yeah.
rap, Lupe. Lupe's fucking stupid. I don't know who the fuck, Lupe. Dude,
Pharrell.
Everyone?
Music. We're just
I feel
everyone
that, yeah.
From like the early. See, I fucked up because I was like 10, 11 in 2001, 2002. So hip hop then was fucking crazy, like Ludacris, and T-Pain, and Outkast, and
Shit, everybody. No,
Yeah.
literally everybody. No,
everybody. Then there's what? Gorillaz.
Gorillaz. Yeah, Gorillaz would be, I think, mine. Like Gorillaz, honestly, Clint Eastwood was the first music video I ever saw in my entire life, and it kind
Right.
of just reshaped my ideas of what just media output in general is. Because I mean, if you think about it, Gorillaz is a completely fabricated band that is led by only two people, and then the lead singer's wife does all the animations or something like that for the original series, and like they made music, they literally created a world, and like they took fans by storm just instantly, and they infused hip hop with rock, and it was just kind of like, and a jazzy influence of techno, like it crossed a lot of boundaries for me. So I was just kind of like, okay, so cool, that's what music is, you know, really just
Right.
like it's the idea of that. As long as my as long as my voice is an instrument, I can be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Right.
So
I guess
Definitely.
it's being raised in the vein of not just hip hop.
Yeah,
I guess
definitely.
that's fucked up to say that, like, you grew up hearing other music, because when you go to rap, you have influences of other, like,
everyone wants to come up here and say Tupac or Biggie or like any of those, and it's like they're dope, and we got no problem with any of them.
my
but they're
mom
not
would
my
let me
influence.
listen to fucking I was born in 91.
Radio
so when I was
Disney.
a child, that's straight up, when I was a child, my mom wouldn't let me.
I didn't even know there was another Mambo number 5 until I was in like the 9th grade.
Yeah.
Like,
First, I was like, what the fuck?
but this guy's talking about women? Like, what's going on? I thought we were going down to get some milkshakes. What's going on? You
Right.
know? But it was one of those things that I feel like just general influence. We grew up in the age of information, so it's the more music that you listen to, the more you actually knew about what you were doing in the situation. The more things you could try.
Right.
The more experimental you could be with the sound. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yeah, I noticed a lot of your music has like electric guitars like right at the end, like for the outro of the song, and I thought that was really interesting. Who does that?
that one was done by Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, or The Truth.
Yeah.
Speak the truth.
Shout out to Speaks again. He finds like artists,
The
that,
dopest artists.
musicians and stuff, and he's a guitarist. So he's
Yeah.
great. And we're working on a project that isn't released, and it's one of the songs that he just like
Just
I recorded
shredded on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but we like we said, we try to pull from like honestly, one of our big things that we want to do next year is get like a live band behind us to just kind of like rock shit out and just kind of like go with the music. Like,
Oh yeah.
like honestly, that's one of our big goals. So we like pulling in actual like musicians because having talented people around you is always a good thing. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, I think that's how you evolve your craft more too.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Agreed.
definitely. I noticed you guys have some kind of a. I don't want to compare, but the sound almost reminds me of kind of like some of the Odd Future stuff that we're doing in the early days, you know. And I think that's like very like I guess monumental for hip hop, especially within like especially Odd Future, like how they came up.
Yeah.
Like it was just a bunch of guys out of LA.
Yeah,
So it's just like just
chilling,
coming up like
making
that.
music. Like,
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
About shit that other people weren't talking about. I agree. It's a very crucial thing, and to high praise, definitely, putting us in the same vein as them because I mean, like the idea that
Our future still stuff on.
Oh, for
Our
sure.
future started a whole bunch of shit that like.
Oh yeah, dude,
that-
they were
that
like
people don't-
innovators. Like they really were.
People don't give them credit for like Supreme wouldn't be where they're fucking at right now if it was for our future.
True. I mean, shit. They elevated entire brands and then made their own and then just made a bunch of fucking
And just
money
music,
off of
and just
that.
music in general, like
Yeah.
the quality, how it was like fucking harsh and like the bass was all fucking turned up and like the content was fucking wild as shit.
Honestly, one of my favorite things. There's two things that I really just generally love hearing at shows. The first one is like looking at you. I just didn't expect that type of music to come out of what you were saying and stuff like that. Cause I go in sometimes I'll dress like button down shirt and like a fucking fedora and shit like that, and I'm rocking out and I don't look like I'm a rapper.
Right.
And like same when he comes up, he has his dad hats on and shit. We don't look like rappers. We
Right.
just don't. And so it's like one of the things when people come up, it's just like they're always impressed because they're
Right.
like, I wasn't expecting any of that out of you. And then
It's kind of trying to break that persona.
This is an audio only podcast.
it's all good.
We'll figure it out. We'll put some visuals in, make it appealing.
No worries. But one of the other things that I love hearing is you say things that aren't normally seen as cool and make it sound cool. Like I love that shit so much because we talk about video games, we talk about anime, we talk about just like shit that like people do but just don't talk about in rap because it's not things that you like talk about.
I hate gimmick rap.
Huh?
What was that?
I hate gimmick rap.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk about video games, don't make it like a whole song about video games. If you are, make it fucking interesting.
Exactly. Don't
Like-
sit there and just like list all your favorite weapons from a video game at me. Like I don't care.
And if you are, your next song shouldn't be about that. Like,
expand.
Right.
like if I'm rapping about something, I'm not trying to make it like a gimmick. I'm trying to make it incorporative of what I'm talking about.
You know
Right.
who's really good at that? Punzy. There's a local rapper from
Right.
Pomona. Fucking, I love his shit because he's just, his whole gimmick is puns, but it's not just puns based on one thing.
Right.
It's puns based on everything, and sometimes you don't even like. He's just really good at fucking just hitting you with hooks right and left, and you just don't even really know what's going on. You know, one second you listen to his bars, and then the next second you're like, oh my god, we have all these like anime references out of nowhere, all of these video game references, and he'll like do entire songs themed on, like he did the song Tetris. I really love it. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's Tetris, and he literally changes the meter in which he raps throughout the entire song, and he calls it Tetris because he's stacking the bars on top of each other the entire time. It's just fucking fantastic. But his entire thing, he expands on the idea of the craft that he has. Like his gimmick is more than just a small little circle. It grows from that point.
Damn, that's really interesting.
That's like when MF Doom made the song "Slow It Up, Speed It Up." It was a track where the tempo was constantly changing, like speeding up and slowing down, and just like shit like that. Not a lot of people do that shit anymore. I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Blackalicious.
Dude, Alphabet Aerobics.
That shit's crazy.
Alphabet Aerobics is still my jam. I play it every morning before I wake up on Sirius. It's the greatest warm-up ever. He literally, for an entire song, goes through the alphabet and says words that only begin with the letter of the alphabet in that section.
It's the
and
first
then just
couple
continues
bars
down.
and it goes A, B, C, D, and G.
Yeah,
Right.
all the way to Z, and it's like 4 bars or 5 bars
And
a
he
piece. Where
speeds
it's
up.
just
And the beat speeds up.
and he's just fucking killing it. And then at the end, it like the sample comes back in and he goes, "Okay, but can you say it backwards?" And it's like the end of the song is like, I make a secondary track where he comes back out and he does Z backwards all the way to the beginning because it's honestly just amazing.
Right.
It's honestly just amazing.
Yeah, have you heard Mick Jenkins' P's and Q's? This you haven't heard it? He does. It's kind of the same concept. Every other word starts with a letter P or a Q, and it just a lot of people don't notice it at first. But when I first noticed it, it was like, what the fuck?
People
Yeah.
are sleeping on Mick Jenkins.
Oh, for sure.
Bro, Water's still one of my.
Oh, yeah.
Water's still one of my favorite albums. His fucking song Jazz.
Yeah.
I love that song. So I'll play that in the morning too. Is drink more water.
Right.
Or you might die. I was like, ooh shit.
Yeah,
Tell
that
the
was.
truth.
I think he turned down the XXL freshman list last year. I
As
think.
you should.
Because
Yeah.
the list was trash.
Any
What was
list
last
is
year's?
still trash. Every single list is trash.
It was just every mumble rapper that came out last year, but it wasn't even like famous mumble rappers. It was pretty much just like I think it was a voting system or something like that. They brought it from their favorite areas.
The
Right,
artist,
right.
The artist
Yeah.
makes the list. The list doesn't make the artist.
Right. Right.
You're on the fucking list. If you're being considered, you already fucking won. Like,
Yeah,
let it go.
exactly.
Fair
So
enough.
it's just-
If they ask you, hey, do you want to be? Oh, cool. No. No, sure. Thank you.
But yeah, no, the list was kind of whatever. And so it's just kind of like, good. I'm glad that he did. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are going to be coming out next year that I think that didn't even make the freshman list, which is great because honestly, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on. Like, I'm a really big fan of Masego. If you
Okay,
haven't fucking check him out. Fucking, I'm a really big fan of Smino. Fucking like Raven Linnae. All of them are like really fucking just I feel like people's No Name, like she kills
Never
it,
know.
bro.
She raps with Chance and stuff.
Oh, okay.
She is amazing. Like
she's like a poet. Like she raps like conversation. Like it's really really interesting.
She also sings. Like she's just great. She's just like she makes one of my favorite songs is one of hers. It's called Shadow Man, and it's her, Smino. I can't remember the name of the third guy on it, but like she just like all the way through. It's just amazing, and it just fills you with that like southern flow. Like it's just amazing. Like it's just fluid as hell.
Right.
That's just one thing I appreciate about her style.
Right. And by southern flow, do you mean like Atlanta?
I mean more like think like Midwestern, like Southern. So like pretty much from St. Louis all the way down to like Louisiana.
Oh, okay. I see.
Like fields or swamps.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
muggy summer field.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Like that sort of Southern, you know, it's just but like I said, it just flows so well.
Right.
It's just it's almost impeccable. It's amazing. It's just,
So as far as directly into your sound, what are some of like the actual influences?
I mean,
I guess like if not trying to replicate, if almost something you're trying to assimilate to. You know what I mean?
I really like the idea of me personally. Again, we can only speak for each other personally. Me personally, I really feel like a lot of my influence comes from like jazz music and like I want to say early 2000s rap just in general. Like the idea of like being either a faster rapper or like someone who switches up their flow a lot, someone who I get bored easily with myself and with my own music, and so because of that I always try to innovate a new way for me to attack a song. And even if it sounds similar, what someone Brockhampton, their whole group, one of them just said it was like, you know, it's identifying things that you know people will enjoy, and then like creating something different on top of that while also maintaining that sort of core value to it, but like giving a new twist to it. And I feel like that's sort of where I come from, where that sort of same ideal.
Definitely.
What inspires me? I don't know. To be dope. It's like kind of like that simple. I like things that sound good to me, and I don't know.
That's humble.
I don't know. I like things that sound good, and I'm personal and or picky with the sounds. Like he'll like stuff that I won't listen to. Like I'll just be avoiding it because I don't want to dislike it.
Okay.
Because of my mood or the off chance that it's not what I'm in the mood musically to listen to. Yeah. Because like he's shown me something that I didn't like, and then I heard it on my own, and I liked it. Like that type of shit, but. Just being.
It really depends on his mood.
Yeah. Just being true. Also, drugs. LSD is great.
Do a lot of LSD?
I don't do a lot. I think I've done it like 2 or 3 times, but that, for me, definitely has influenced the creative process and how things flow together. Yeah,
there's that whole concept where have you heard the psychedelic Bible theory or something like that?
Oh, kind of. There's a similar book on it. It's called A Sea of LSD and the Search for God or something like that.
It's like along those lines. There's this whole like concept and theory that the entire foundation of religion was based off of Moses eating the bush, and they had DMT in it. So it's like the whole concept is that God was based off a psychedelic trip. It's really crazy, but it's crazy that people find like almost like another dimension within psychedelics and another creative realm.
If you look at a lot of like ancient societies, a lot of them were eating mushrooms and things like that, and like bushes, like you said, like some of them were like some of them would eat like weed and not even realize what it was, or like things like that. So they actually did a study, and people who have religious experiences, the same part of their brain lights up as people who take like mushrooms or LSD. It actually lights up the same portion of the brain. There's actually this whole series like I want to say it was St. Paul or something like that. He like ate mushrooms, and that's how he like came up with the portion.
St. Paul, what?
Yeah, like he like a lot of the saints apparently, like and a lot of the people like from ancient Egypt and stuff like that, they would eat things that they didn't know had psychotropic effects, and then would just flip out and be like, oh, and then their only way of explaining it, because they didn't really have the same sort of sciences that we did, their only way of explaining it was, this is obviously a higher being or God or someone like that coming to us. So, yeah, Like it definitely brings you closer to the idea of there being more to this life than what is perceived or being in the people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So LSD, like that's a crazy one. Where do you even get LSD these days? Like
Oh,
I've heard there's some like sketchy shit. I mean, I know you can't say. Yeah, yeah. Don't give out your plug's name, but it's like.
Fucking Vlad TV. I can't.
Right.
Who the fuck was that one guy in the interview? He's like, oh yeah, shouts out to my boy Rocket in Miami, Florida, who sells drugs. Or like something like that. Like, who the fuck? Like, whose interview was that?
Yo, do you guys hear about Joe Budden putting Vlad on blast?
I haven't seen no.
No. I'm sorry, I cut you off though. What were you saying?
No. I don't know who it was. Was it Lil Pump or?
Was it Lil Pump?
It sounded like.
It was someone, but they fucking straight out gave out their plug's name. Was like, yeah, he sells drugs.
It's like, well, that guy's in jail now.
Cool, like you just indicted your boys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Being a snitch without being a snitch.
You have to send him that why you hit him up. His number is 827.
Here's his address and social.
His IG.
Damn, how do I respond to this?
Oh.
There's this chick I've been talking to, bro. But like she ain't really about it. So the other night I hit her up like, hey, do you want to go to this Christmas party with me? And it fucking happened yesterday. But
Swag.
she hit me around and was like, hey, sorry, I work a lot. Didn't see this. Like, how do I respond to that?
You should hit her with a meme.
You should text her in 5 hours and tell her, oh, sorry, I was working.
See, I don't want to be like that, bro, because I don't blame her. She going to school for nursing.
No.
She working a job. So.
There's no blame. That's the thing, though.
Hey.
That's the thing. You gotta respect your time. That's the thing that I tell people all the time. Like it's not about.
If you're trying to get it, you be like, I respect it. You busy tonight? And if she isn't busy tonight, if she ain't busy tonight, then she ain't about it.
Yeah.
Cause she hit you when she said, "Oh, I was busy." Well, bitch, you busy now? You're
Damn.
free enough to text me. What the fuck is going on?
That her spitting facts.
I feel it, no, it's like, or I get you, or like, I get you, comma, you busy tonight, question mark.
Yeah.
Turn into a therapy session.
Right. You have this one verse where it was, I'll take your pitch. He's like, psych, I got my own or something like that.
Oh, no, that's not me. But yeah, that's, who's that? That's C. Reezy on Gold Casio.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he was feeling himself.
That, yeah. I thought that was an interesting bar. I was like, okay, right on.
I don't know. You know how you feel yourself, and you guess you want to say some shit with your girls in the room. Or like you write something and you think like, fuck, my girl's gonna do this. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He was like, man, I'll take your bitch. And he looked over and was like, yeah. But I got my own.
Yeah, I thought that's just pretty fun. I noticed the gold Casio. That's why I was assuming like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
Like,
how,
this
that's how
is
you and
pretty
I got into
That's
links.
how we met.
Yeah, we got the same watch.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We met
funny.
on the Gold Casio.
Yeah, you guys came in looking hella fresh. You got the what is that?
Illuminatus.
What is that?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the.
GS is gonna shout out his fucking job.
I can't legally. Like I
Oh,
signed
okay.
a contract, so I can't say nothing about it. But Illuminatus,
You can't say nothing about
I
the
can't say
Illuminati.
nothing about. But Illuminatus, they make little cigarette-looking joints
Right.
that you can just smoke. I just really like it because they're simple. But
Uh-huh.
if, just a shout out if you're gonna smoke that shit, like push on the filter a little bit because that shit, you know. But it's weed. It's all.
Okay.
It's pretty much just a joint that you just smoke and shit like that.
You work for Illuminatus?
I do not.
You do not work for
I do
Illuminatus?
not work for them. The people I work for work with them. But
Fair enough. That
Yeah, you said
that's on non-disclosed. That's top secret.
Yeah.
Top secret.
All I'm
But,
saying is,
but yeah, no. They're a company that works with the people that I work for.
Okay, right on.
I can't say nothing about them. I signed a contract, and since I'm not a
Hit
legal
that NDA
representative
one
of them.
I see.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we got here self-snitching, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Self-snitching in this one. I ain't trying to call on my plugs, all right?
Right.
But yeah, so
Really?
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, always gotta look fresh, dog. You know
Feel
what?
that.
I got it. I'm heating up. Let a nigga cook. But you know, there's an old saying that I love is, dress like today's the day you go meet your soulmate.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, because I mean, you obviously feeling yourself in your clothes too.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
you know, if you walk out right now, some girl just happened to be the girl you was looking for, and you're
Right.
just like,
I have a girlfriend and I love her.
I
Just
mean,
clearing
yeah,
that.
if your girlfriend walked up, obviously,
Right.
you know, on you and shit like that.
The love of
she
your life
obviously
currently walks
currently
around.
rolls up on you. You're obviously gonna look at her and be like, you know, I'm fresh right now, and I'm not
Right.
worried about what I don't mind much.
Imagine the girl you with right now, you fucking walk past her on the street, look like a fucking bum. You
Right.
Yeah, she gonna look at you like, what is he doing?
Right,
like,
right.
So baby, trust me. Trust me.
I get paid. I'll buy some new clothes.
You caught me on the wrong day, girl.
That was one of the things I was having a conversation with my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with her about she does cosplay at cons and shit like that.
Okay.
She said the one thing that I hate is that about nerds, because I self-identify as a nerd. She says you're not a nerd, you're a hipster because you're attractive. Once you get attractive, you're no longer a nerd.
That's interesting.
Whatever, but I'm a nerd. She said, the thing I hate about nerds is they never take a shower. And then they want to talk about why women don't ever want to date them. They don't ever want to be with them and shit like that. Because you smell, nigga. Like, I'm not gonna be with a nigga who's gonna smell or like look shabby or whatever.
Right, right.
If you think about how long women put into their image, like. Sometimes my girl will take an hour and a half in the bathroom, and that ain't no shade. Like,
yeah.
Take that time because you want to come out looking fresh as fuck.
Right, right.
I took an hour and a half in the bathroom, I'm gonna come out looking fresh as fuck.
Right.
You know? Especially if I got the technique that girls like learn from each other. They're out here teaching each other how to look good. But like, you know.
Shout out to women.
Shouts out to women. Shouts out to women.
We're here respecting them.
Exactly.
She responded, but she said, sadly, yes.
So
what do I hit her with now?
What the fuck you texting me for, bitch?
If you busy, no.
Bro.
Nah.
I just gotta hop on that. Like, damn, when you free?
I ain't your girlfriend. Like,
I mean,
what's today? Sunday.
You really like this girl?
I don't know. She's pretty fine.
She's pretty fine, but like.
Do you like her?
Like her?
I think so. I don't know.
There are other girls you can.
Because that's what I was about to say. There's 8 billion people on this planet, my ninja. I'm pretty sure over half of them will go fuck you. So I mean, you know.
Damn, I don't know, but this chick, she's same cultural background as me. That's why I was like, shit.
I mean, but here's the thing. You can't rush something that's meant to be at a certain pace. Everything takes time.
I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just trying to take her out to dinner.
I'm saying, but like if it's really about her schedule, then ask her, well, when's the next time that you're available?
That's what I was thinking.
You know?
Let's set up a date.
Yeah, exactly.
If we have a place in mind, bitch, we going to fucking we going to shit. What's the next one? We going to Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
We going to Red Lobster. You never been.
I've been to Red Lobster.
Nah, take it from.
I'm gonna take.
Biscuits.
Bro, I ain't trying to take someone somewhere where they got an all-you-can-eat bar on the first date.
Yo,
Alright.
Yo, y'all ever been to a KFC buffet?
No.
That shit is wild.
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah,
so
in
I
Elsinore,
can't,
bro.
How long you been vegetarian
it was like
for?
$15.
About a year and a half.
Why'd you choose to go vegetarian?
See a bitch.
Wow.
That's the same response I got from him.
Wait, what?
The whole reason I became a vegetarian was because the original people who settled in Egypt were the people of the Kemet. And what they believed is that in eating living creatures, you're actually ingesting negative karma, and that's actually what gives you diseases. That's what gives everyone like all this bad like energy and bad shit, because you're literally slaughtering a living creature and then consuming its essence. So you're just consuming the dead and creating this negative karma. And so my big problem is that once I read something and it makes like sense to my brain just instills that as the logical step for me. So it's one of those things where it's like I read it and then it made just so much sense to me because of course, you know, animals are conscious. You can teach a dog 13,000 words at this point in game and age and shit like that. Like they understand. Like, did you see that video where the gorilla has self-awareness for a moment?
What was it?
They fucking put a mirror in front of a gorilla, they put paint on his finger, and then they had him draw the line down his face. So he realized that the image in the mirror was him. And he stopped for a second, he looked at his hand, and then he looked at the mirror, and he's like looking at himself in the mirror. And you could see him realizing, this is what I look like, you know? And it's just so interesting because it's like, these creatures are alive. And they're living their life, and then we're just murdering them out of nowhere and then consuming them. Rather than eating things that are actually meant for us to consume. Like, people's always argument is like, okay, what about canines? It's like, well, actually, if you look at gorillas and if you look at other creatures like that, their canines are meant for peeling fruit, making it easier to consume things like kiwis and shit like that.
Right.
You know? And it's kind of the same with ours. If ours were developed for eating just directly meat all the time, and again, since I was a meat eater most of my life, I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to shame you for eating meat.
Yeah.
That's your fucking decision.
You're
a human being.
When he ate meat on me.
All I have little cheat days every once in a while where I'll go back and eat a little something because, you know, sometimes you miss the flavor of something, or sometimes you miss like a memory attached to something. So I went to Korean barbecue with my girl, and it was all you can eat. And as I'm eating my second round there, I had this realization where I was like, man, when I was a meat eater, this was literally a whole meal. It was just eating meat. There were no sides. There was no there was no extension past it. It was always like, I'm just gonna shove my face full of chicken, or I'm just gonna shove my face full of a steak. Fuck a salad, fuck mashed potatoes, fuck mac and cheese, fuck all that other shit. I'm just gonna stuff my face with meat. Exactly, barbecue. I don't need nothing else. And then when I became a vegetarian, I was like, damn, there's like all these sides. There's like all these things that I can eat outside of that, fruits, veggies, and shit like that. Like I'll start my morning off with like fucking whole wheat peanut butter and honey sandwich with like bananas and fucking strawberries and fucking clementine and like all this other shit. And I'm just like, I'm chilling. I'm chilling in the morning. I got a bunch of solid energy. I don't ever feel like my stomach is like hanging into my fucking body anymore. Like I don't feel heavy walking around, you know?
Right.
So it's like, that's the reason why. It was like, it went from me making a logical connection inside of myself to going, well, now I feel better as a human being, so let me just go ahead and like see that. And there's plenty of proteins. That's the thing people always say. It's like, well, what about proteins? I'm like, bro, have you ever had quinoa? Quinoa's delicious as fuck.
What's quinoa?
Quinoa's a grain.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Hell yeah, but
It's that shit. Looks like it's pronounced quinoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's like packed full of proteins, dog. You eat some of that, some avocado, some rice,
some avocado toast.
Set. Oh yeah, avocado toast. Bro, like there are so many good things to eat as a vegetarian. So it's like when someone's like, "Whoa, but you're missing all these things," I'm like, "No, I'm missing like 5 things."
Right.
That's really it. I'm missing like 5 things, but I got literally the rest of everything to consume. So I'm just like not even tripping. Bro, I had a whole vegan lasagna at this fucking place.
Eggplant lasagna?
Vegan. No. It was made. Like the pasta was made because it's just grain, and then the cheese they used was cashew cheese, and then they used just tomato dressing. And bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, it was honestly some of the best lasagna I've had in years since I was eating meat.
Right.
Like this was some of the best lasagna that I've ever had. And I'll put that on God, bro. I'll go back anytime. It was $13, and I looked at myself and I was like, this is $13 I spent well. Like I'm not even mad at myself for this shit. Like,
where do you get that vegan lasagna?
I got it at a restaurant. I can't remember what the name is. Like Eat Food Daily or something like that. Like it's actually over in Pasadena. I don't know if they got one out this way, but there was one over in Pasadena, bro. Like honestly, like when I get balling status where I just have like millions of dollars on hand, I'm just gonna be walking through just every day. I'm gonna pay those cooks. Come to my house. Make this shit. I ain't trying to play nothing like that, you know. Ball out shit.
Right, I feel it.
Shit's dope. So I mean, it's one of those things. It's like I never push it on anybody. You do you. I ain't got no problems with it. I can still sit at the same table with you. I ain't tripping. I'm not one of those people who's like, how dare you? You eat meat in front of me? Oh, God, I was a cook, dude. Like I handle meat.
Right.
You know, I know what it is. I know I ain't got no problem. I still handle meat. Like as a vegetarian. Pause, indeed. I mean, unless it's the meat of my girl's ass. Yeah. I mean, I still handle meat. I ain't tripping about none of that shit. It's just like people too often are like, they'll go the complete opposite of what they were, and then just do exactly the same thing they were doing on the other side. Like fucking, that's one of the things I hate. One of the things I hate about the atheist versus Christian conversation, because a lot of the shit that atheists are mad at Christians about, and a lot of the shit that Christians are mad at atheists about, the same fucking shit. They hate that they're shoving it down the other person's throat. They hate that their conversation can never be had. I have conversations with at least 14 different people who have different fucking ethnic backgrounds, fucking religious backgrounds, and I can have the conversation with them without having to worry about, oh, at the end of this we ain't gonna be friends.
Right.
I was like, tell me about your culture. Tell me about what I want to learn from you.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
What a lot of people, I want to learn too. Exactly. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be me.
Yeah. And like I'm actually a political science major, so that same issue comes up with that, because I mean you talk to people about politics and they're like, oh well, I voted for this, I voted for that, and if you have different issues, it's just people are way too close-minded to even like just open up and just explain their issues.
It's because a lot of people don't see it as like, hey, I'm just gonna learn something new about someone. They see more of like, oh, I'm gonna cause a debate.
Their opposition.
Yeah.
So there was a quote that was that we were taught to not talk about politics or money specifically, because then we can never have a casual conversation about those two things. We can never actually have a debate or a real conversation about political sides, because we were never taught to have a casual conversation about it. We were taught that it was something you never talk about. It was something you never bring up to anybody else, and if someone has a different opinion, then you fuck them.
People just don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
Essentially, people don't want to get hurt, and if you feel a way about a way and you don't agree, I'm gonna feel hurt.
Yeah.
And that's politics.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy because our generation is like so, I guess, kind of raised off of that and just spoon-fed that bullshit.
No, our parents were terrible.
There's a whole book about how the baby boomer generation is actually a generation of psychopaths. because if you look about, because if you look at a lot of the fucking choices and moral stances that a lot of these people take, it's just really just like are sociopaths, not psychopaths, sociopaths.
Right.
Where it's just like they don't care. Like it's the idea. Like I just had a conversation with my aunt. I ain't gonna say which one. I just had a conversation with my aunt, but I was talking to her about how.
Do I have time to go to the car? Well, I don't know how long we're here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're good. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
fine.
solid.
But I had a conversation with my mom's recently, or my aunt recently, where we were talking about how the generation that we live now, if we had the same wages that they did because of inflation, if we had the same wages that they did, we'd be making $18 an hour right now. The $6 an hour they were making during that time period.
So accounting for inflation is what you're saying. Okay.
Accounting for inflation would be equivalent to $18 an hour. And I was telling her that, and she was like, looking at me, she was like, okay, but that still doesn't mean anything because I was like, the dollar's worth less now than it was when you guys were in power and growing up and everything like that. If you look at it, there's nowhere in California, let alone most of America, where a single person who has a full-time job can afford their own place. They usually got to get a studio apartment, or they got to get a one-bedroom that's cramped to shit. And they ain't got no choices in any of the situation. There's no opportunities like there were when you guys were growing up because the housing market crashed. It's impossible to get a fucking house. Think about like the fact that most houses were $22,000 back when they were younger, and now you can't look at one for less than $500,000.
Yeah,
like, it's not going to be in any good part of the neighborhood that you can actually
or any good condition. Yeah,
good condition, exactly. You usually got to build on top of the motherfuckers if they're under that. And so it's like, okay, so you're telling me that right now I'm making $10 an hour, which is $8 less than the equivalent of what you would be making right now with the same sort of inflation that you have backing you. And you're telling me that it's my fault that I have to work 2 jobs and live at home with my parents because it's the only way that I can afford to live in this world. Because what is it? It's like 80% of people who are 30 and under still live with their parents.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it's because the fucking economy is just so shit. Because literally there's a line where it's like productivity and how much a person is paid. The line was never supposed to separate. And then in the early 80s, complete opposite directions. And so it's like you'll do all this productivity and get paid absolutely nothing for it.
Yeah, productivity's going up, but like, what was it?
Minimum wage.
Yeah, minimum wage and salaries are just like slowly increasing, if not like not even close to it. Yeah.
Like we just fucking, my homeboy just told me this. He just got upgraded to a manager at the position where he works, right?
Okay.
So he was making $12 an hour, and then when I told him, I was like, okay, but what about in January when it goes up to $12 an hour for the state minimum? That increase in check that you just
that's what's happening?
More. Yeah. It's going from, because it's 11 right now. If your place has 25 employees or more
in California,
it's $11. Yeah, it's $11 an hour.
Oh, what?
If your place has 25 employees or more, starting January 1st, it's shooting up to $12 an hour, and then in July it's going to be like $12.50 or something like that. So
talk about inflation.
This is so bad.
Price.
Like, but it's nice. But think about the fact that now everything is getting more expensive.
Yeah.
Gas is now almost.
Now it's going to cost more to produce things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the problem is that people have this concept and this notion. It's like you can't blame. It's not really the economy. It's the people who control the economy. The people who control the banks, because money is a fictitious thing anyways, and it's something that we all fight for because it's based on a standard that none of us hold. Because I mean, if you think about it, your money is only worth something because America has gold. And like, you don't have gold.
Oh no, it's only going up to 11 an hour. It's going up to 12 in 2019.
That's still
Dude,
pretty
it's
close.
going up $1 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's still bad.
Exactly. Like $1 a year, we went from $6 to $12, but or $11, but that's $5, but that took fucking 30, 40 years.
Oh, I see. Because they're trying to get it $15 an hour by 2022 and just like keep it there.
Yep. But
It's gonna be
think
bad.
about that. Again, $15 an hour. That's still $3 less than minimum wage was for our parents. Like $3 less. And
But then you still got to account for inflation. I think we should go. All right, so I guess we're gonna use this as a transition. We're gonna play a song called "Buttered Toast."
Yeah.
All right, we're playing "Buttered Toast" by We Are Skywalkers. All right, we'll be right back.
All right. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chillin'. So it's raining my flow from my jaw, I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, but it's purpose that I'm sipping.
I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never off of that perk, it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds. Raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. I'm off of that perk. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. I'm a major league player, so don't touch that controller. I gotta turn my brightness down, I'm blinded like it's solar. Flare on contrary, I'm aware I'm the owner. Cause it's monopoly bars, now we vibing like it's Sona. Donor of the century, there's no one to compare to me. It's in my DNA to be the best. I gotta be there, many people watching and hoping that I'll just drop. It's gonna take a while since I'm falling from the top. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, but it's purpose that I'm sipping. Trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, but it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Back at it like a spinal tap. I'm tap dancing on rat traps. I'm spastic in the bed, now your girl taking a cat nap. Storing all of this wisdom like a cookie hidden in fat flaps. Wrap a snack pack, now they asking where we at. Well, we are Skywalkers, so start checking the clouds for that loud that we blowing. Even when we making no sound, when we're around, better get hype or we'll send you to the ground. It's only positive vibes here, no negatives allowed. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, but it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds. Raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. I'm off of that perk. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my town chilling. So it's raining my flow, jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's off of my never offered that perk, but it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping. Catch me racing through the clouds in my hometown chilling. So it's raining my flow from my jaw I'm spilling. Never offered that perk, it's purpose that I'm sipping. I'm trying to kick game to these kids I catch slipping.
Alright, so that was Buttered Toast by We Are Skywalkers.
Hey.
So what was the inspiration behind that track?
Back in this bitch. Eating ceviche.
So, high key. Ceviche in this bitch all day. Sorry, that's why mouthful, you know. Pause. So, Buttered Toast. So we were actually recording EPK at the Dope Spot in Pomona.
Right.
And the shout out to the sound engineer who was running for us was JMKM.
That's a studio out there, right?
Yeah. It's a studio, but they also run events and stuff like that as well. It's a whole house. It's like the whole productivity line. They got artists, they got musicians, they got like filming crew, they got the whole 9 yards. But so we were running with them, and the producer, the guy who was running, the audio engineer who was running it is JMKM. I don't know if you know about him in Productive Culture. They're fucking dope. If you ever get a chance, go and check out their fucking shit. He's got fire. He's actually working a lot with us on our next project coming out. He was playing beats because we were talking about how we needed more beats just to work on shit. And he was playing beats, and that beat came on. He skipped it. He skipped it because he played it for like 10 seconds, and then he skipped it, and I heard it, and I was like, no wait, go back to that one. He was like, all right. He played it back, and I was like, anyone using this? He was like, nah, no one's using this, just on a sample shit. And we were like, oh, okay, for sure. Send that to me. Next day, I had it done. It was one of those things where it was just like, it was just perfect. It was supposed to happen, you know?
Right.
And then, I called it Buttered Toast. A lot of people don't know this. So I called it Buttered Toast because when I was 21, I put out a I'm 21 mixtape.
Right.
Shit. No one can hear it. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
As far as anyone is concerned. But I made the entire fucking track list a grocery list.
Oh, that's
so
fresh.
it was like fucking eggs, milk, meatballs, all this shit. Like that's what it was called. So it was actually a callback to that mixtape, and that's why I called it Buttered Toast. But honestly, but that was the reason why I called it that. It was just specifically because like it was a callback joke that just worked perfectly. So I was like, hell yeah, you know.
Wow, hella party foul.
It's all good. But yeah, no. So that's why I actually called it Buttered Toast.
That's funny. It reminds me a lot of Doom's food album. Every track on there was a meal. And then same with the Special Herbs. His whole instrumental album, all those are just different herbs and spices and shit. I always thought that was cool.
His idea was like a grocery list for the party that night.
Because
it was his birthday, so it was like the stuff he needed.
Like
I
at
see.
The last 3 tracks were like, if you're not dancing by the end of this song, then what the fuck are you doing? I know that.
Right.
But yeah, actually could pull back a little bit in the box. There we go. But yeah, so it was based on the grocery list for the party that night. So it was like making a cake.
What do you need eggs for?
A cake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, my guy.
It's my birthday. Actually, so fun fact, my birthday's on Pie Day, 3/14.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I tell people, get me a cheesecake for my birthday.
Is that technically pie?
No, it is. So the difference, the fundamental difference, the letter, the fundamental difference, the fundamental difference between a pie and a cake is the crust.
Okay.
So a pie requires it to have a crust. A cake does not have a crust. So
Right.
if it does have a crust, then it's immediately a pie. And so people are like, but it's called a cheesecake. I was
Right.
like, misnomer. Like it's something that someone would consider cake, but it's actually a pie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Damn.
Oh, that's why a pizza is a pizza pie.
Yeah, exactly. Because it has a crust.
Oh, we spitting cold hard facts
All
in
day,
here.
dog. That's all I do. So if you have a crust, then it's a pie. That's all it is.
Okay.
And so I tell people every year, don't get me a cake. Don't get me a cake. If you get me a cake, I'll hate you. Get me a fucking pie.
Yeah,
Because
pie.
I love cheesecake. So
Okay.
cheesecake and strawberry rhubarb pie are just like my 2 favorite pies of all time. Like, bro, you get me any of those, it's a good day. And they make. I was so happy when I found out because I want to become a vegan eventually. But they make vegan cheesecake and it's
Okay.
fucking bombastic. And so I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna jump in on this shit right now.
Damn,
I
that.
thought it was weird that rhubarb was used in pastries.
Yeah, but it's the sour texture. It's the sour
Yeah.
and the texture. Like honestly, once you taste rhubarb, like have you ever had a strawberry rhubarb pie? Bro, I'm telling you right now, you eat a strawberry rhubarb pie when it comes back in the spring. I'm gonna tell you right now, it'll change the game for you.
I bet.
It'll change.
Cause
the
yeah,
game.
a lot of people, and then a rhubarb, for those of you who don't know, it's basically a sour celery.
Yup.
Like that's the best way to sum it up.
It's a root fruit.
Yes.
Technically,
It's
it's
a
a
root fruit.
vegetable, but I call it a root fruit. It tastes like a fruit.
Aren't roots? Don't roots grow above ground?
Below ground.
I mean, I'm sorry. Vegetables. Vegetables above ground, right?
Vegetables grow from a root. Fruits grow from a vine or a tree.
Right.
For example, you know the shit that's on top of celery?
Right.
That's what you're supposed to eat. The
Yeah.
celery is just the
The stalk,
The
right?
stalk, yeah. Yeah. It's the same with green onions. Like you don't actually eat all the green portions of it towards the top. You're supposed to eat towards the bottom.
Yeah, like the bottom to the middle to the bottom. Yeah, yeah.
And they call it
That's
top
actual-
chives.
Huh?
And they call it top part chives.
Ah,
Fucking flavorless.
right.
Exactly.
I mean, I put them on my baked potatoes, man.
Well, honestly, too, you can actually take the top of it and if you like cook it with some onions and some like olive oil or
Right.
some like corn oil or something that's like, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, that flavor just comes out like it mixes with the onion and you just fucking season the shit out of it, dog. Like fucking thyme is great for it.
You into any specific cuisines?
Yeah, dude. Like a lot of people don't realize that a lot of Spanish food, like straight from Spain and shit like that, a lot of it is vegetarian based. So there's
Right.
actually a lot of shit that I like high key. So I got really into Pinterest.
Right,
As soon as
right.
I became a vegetarian, not like high key. Like they got the best recipes, bro. I made these spinach balls, completely fucking vegetarian, vegan, no fucking like I got vegan cream cheese and shit like that. I made the sauce for it too and everything. I brought it to a fucking potluck thing.
Okay.
They were gone before I got back to the table. I didn't even get to try myself.
Uh,
I tried a couple at home, but like,
Uh-huh.
like I didn't even get to have one at the fucking party. People were
Right.
literally just like, I'm gonna sit over here and eat these, and I was like,
No,
alright,
right?
cool. Like people kept coming back. Someone came up and asked me, "Did you bring another batch?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't." But like honestly, like a lot of really dope recipes. Avocado chips.
Avocado chips. I never had that.
Yes.
Sounds fire.
Yes. So basically, you take strips of avocado and then you wrap it in pachinko bread, and then you fucking just fry that shit, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, completely fucking vegan. There is no aspect of it that requires any form of animal byproduct. But you use that shit with some vegan dip, I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit changes lives. Bro, there are so many good tapas that like just people don't think about because they're always focused. Okay, well, what goes good with pork? What goes good with chicken? So no, fuck that. What goes good with seasonings, dog?
Right.
Go out there and get that shit fire. Like you know. Like learn like because you can, and a lot of people don't realize that you can flavor vegetables like you flavor meat. Like people underestimate like spices and fucking like sauces and shit like that you can use to like make things delicious. I made fried cauliflower. It tastes exactly. It has the same consistency as chicken. You flavor that shit with 13 different spices. This shit tastes like KFC, bro, and no one will know the difference. You take a bite out of it. It looks white on the inside. It looks like fucking has the same consistency as fucking chicken, dog. I made that shit, bro. There's a whole batch of it, and then you fucking get some fucking spicy aioli on that bitch. Boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've seen those vegan chicken wings. I've seen those. They get cauliflower and put them in like buffalo sauce.
Fuck that. That's bullshit.
No, dude, it's so good. Like high key, like I ain't even trying to gas it up. Like high key, you just haven't had it. There's a place called the Loving Hut. If you ever go in Claremont, there's a place called the Loving Hut. Go there, get some of their chicken. This is a completely vegan store. So get some of their orange chicken, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's just fire. It's just straight fire.
That's funny.
I got no hate. Like I said, I ain't trying to tell nobody out there, hey, you can't eat meat or nothing like that. I'm just saying there is also really good byproducts that also taste similar to meat. There's this whole new meatless burger that's coming out right now. There's this whole meatless burger or meatless chicken that they're coming out with. The meatless burger.
Umami burger?
Meatless burger or vegan burger.
Is that made from the soybeans? What are you saying? Yeah.
Some people make it out of like different seeds and shit.
Okay.
There's one that bleeds. They don't have that restaurant out here in California, but it's out in New York.
Okay.
It's all vegan, but it actually like does everything an actual
burger would do, and like people can't even tell the difference when they eat it. Like,
that's interesting.
There's this new product coming out of Australia right now, and like they don't have it available in the U.S. yet, but the UK and all them shit got it. But it's like chicken, but it's made like from beans or some like lentils or some shit like that. But it like has the exact same consistency as chicken. It has the exact same flavor as chicken, and they're actually using it to like replace a lot of the shit that they're making out there. It's It's fire, dude. Like just like we're at an age right now where you can pretty much do anything that you fucking want, and so a lot of people are like, okay, well, most of everyone's complaints about vegetarianism is the shit's bland and there's nothing to eat off of it. Okay, so what do we do to fix that? We find all the different flavors and shit like that we can make, and then we grow off of that and make dope shit. So people are like, bro, my whole goal is, in the spring next year, I'm gonna throw a huge vegan potluck.
Okay.
Everything there is gonna be vegan. Everything. But I'm just gonna invite a bunch of people, have us all sit down, just eat the shit. If they want to eat meat before they get there or whatever, I don't give a shit. But there's gonna be no meat or any animal byproduct on the table. I'm just gonna make a whole fucking thing. Cause I cook. I get down in the fucking kitchen. I love that shit. So I'm just like, bro, just come out and have some. Just like I'll send the invite to y'all too. Just like come out and have some. I guarantee it'll change your way of how you think of vegetarianism.
Feel that? Is that the move for We Are Skywalkers for the next year? Throw a vegan potluck?
This nigga's going to be. I mean,
Sure.
ain't on that vegetarian train, you know.
Hey man, that doesn't mean I won't show up, man.
No, of course. He's gonna eat, don't worry.
Yeah, don't get twisted.
Food is food, my nigga.
It's fucking good, nigga. I'm eating it.
But
What are the moves for We Are Skywalkers for the next year?
So
Album.
yeah,
Album?
Non plus ultra.
Non plus ultra.
It's gonna be the move. Yeah.
Non plus ultra.
Do you guys have a release date on that yet?
Nope.
We
Not
keep
yet?
everything
That's a
under
fucking
wraps.
curse, nigga. Like the
Top
curse,
secret.
Nigga.
Top secret,
Don't
exactly.
put your fucking album date out, nigga.
It's done now. Beyonce changed it all for everybody already. You know.
The queen did it. Don't have no fucking nigga. Put it
Exactly.
out.
If you're doing what the commoners doing, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just put it out.
But yeah, no. So I mean, we're keeping all this shit under wraps. It's about to be fire though. The whole point of Non Plus Ultra is just kind of like establish ourselves as a threat. You know, or not even the threat. This is our place. This is where we're supposed to be at and shit like that. We have the capability, the knowledge, the movement. We have the power to be where we're supposed
It's like
to be.
we're here too, you know.
Yeah.
And you know.
We don't have to be the best, but we here.
Feel it.
Definitely.
But we are the best. So I mean, no.
Any significant features?
Huh?
Any significant features on that?
We can't say anything.
Oh, everything's top secret. Okay,
Everything about
everything's
the album
top
is
secret. Okay.
Anything we reveal to you is what we can tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But no, but there are features.
Okay.
There are features.
but we just expect
but yeah.
to hear a lot of familiar
The
voices.
features don't know that they're on the album.
They don't even know.
Features don't know other features are on the
This
same
is
song.
above top secret.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like, literally, even there are only 4 people on the project that know everything about it that's going on.
Okay.
And that's us 2 and 2 of the producers.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they need to.
Yeah.
They need to know
Yeah.
exactly. But like literally everyone who's gonna be pretty much over the next couple of months, every move that we're gonna be making, the people don't know whether or not that's gonna be what's gonna be going on the album or what's gonna be a part of the next movie for the steps. So that's
Yeah.
Okay.
the goal.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We're trying a lot of new things.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like we were talking about earlier, the expansion on the sound that we've already created.
Mhm.
You know, this is the continuation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and videos. We need videos.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody,
We actually do videos.
yeah, we need videos.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys ever trying to work, just just hit us up. We'll get some shit going.
Dude,
we're
this,
gonna be building the world.
this fool Guns is tagging with Flex Seal.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
This tagger, bro.
Have you seen those videos? The fucking videos for Flex Seal? Like just like
Oh,
how
yeah.
crazy they fucking look. I'm gonna saw this boat in half real quick. Even if I saw this boat in half, let me just slap on a couple pieces of tape. I'm back out there on the waters, guys. It's
Fucking
cool.
bitches.
I can fix anything with this shit.
Just boats and hoes.
That's what it's about, dog.
Man, for the longest time, I've wanted to do a music video that looks just like an as seen on TV ad.
That actually is pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. That would actually be a pretty great concept.
Fucking Arizona, guys.
Right?
The music video for Miss New Booty started like that.
Yeah,
It started
call
like
now.
Yeah, it started like a TV ad.
Oh, man. Now I gotta watch this.
That's funny. I was always into that like 80s really grainy VHS look.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of inspires like my video editing and like production quality a lot.
There's a person you should check out then, because they kind of do.
The song's by a white guy?
You didn't know that?
Yeah, Bubba Sparks is white, dog.
I didn't know that.
That's why he got the Union Twins on it. He needed that credibility. Because he found them. Like Mr. Booty. But shit, there's a YouTuber. This is my nerd coming up, but he does Destiny videos and video game videos and stuff like that. But he starts it out with the VHS feel, and then it starts out as the blue screen with the channel 3 and all that shit on it. It says an essay by, and then I can't remember the nigga's name right now. But I'll send you a link next time I look at one of his.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like vaporware aesthetics.
Hell yeah.
What's that shit called?
Miami Vice.
Art Deco.
Yeah.
I like saturated lights. That's kind of like blending. I've been on acid, so like lights like.
Oh, dude, you'd probably like this weird dude we found on Instagram out of nowhere.
We like weird.
Oh, you talking about that guy from
Nose Candy?
Yeah.
That's- dude,
I think he's from Atlanta.
No, you
Shout
know
out
it's
to
from New
Nose
Orleans.
Hey, for real though, he's on some weird woke shit.
Bro, like, what is this? What is he on, bro? Like, this is a.
He's on the anime shit. Look at that.
Chakra,
Yeah.
That's
He's about to open the portals. I will. He has
What?
a painting
Is the
of
glove?
himself in the fucking
Is
corner.
that power
I
glove?
think so.
Bro.
No,
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
skeleton.
The,
Fucking, like, what is this?
that's
Wait,
aesthetic.
does he have a bio? Does he have like interdimensional?
Unfriendly black hottie, selfie king.
I mean, hey.
Gang gang.
It's nose underscore candy, and candy is spelled IE instead of a Y. This shit is wild.
Shout out to Nose Candy on the real.
Shouts out.
Whatever you make it, bro, we support it.
I fucking DM'd him one day too. I was like, dude, whatever you're fucking doing is insane. He's like, oh, I appreciate you, man. You followed me back.
Well,
It's lit out here.
I want him to design an album cover, dude. I feel like he can make some heat.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Amen. It's up.
that vaporware.
It's up.
Yeah, his aesthetic is vaporware. Mine's more cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk,
I feel
yeah.
like that
So we
sort of
kind
arcade
of try to blend it as
together.
best
That's-
as possible.
That's crazy, because I've always tried to combine the two, and it's tricky. Like,
Do like Fifth Element, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
oh, did you see the new one?
I have not.
Fuck, it was great. It was fantastic. My girlfriend hated it. I forced her to watch that with me. It was
It's-
fantastic.
It's the best boring movie ever.
Absolutely. I say that about Blade Runner all the time.
It's
Like,
amazing, but it's boring.
like if you're not into visuals, don't watch it. That's what that movie's all
So it's
about.
pretty much
Visuals.
just off of the
What
aesthetic.
Blade
Yeah.
Runner?
Blade Runner. It's like what,
The
based
original.
50 years in the future, something like that. No, the original one was based in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is this Sam Hyde's 2070 paradigm shift?
pretty much. So, oh my God, Blade Runner was fantastic.
Yeah,
What
so
about that new
there's-
Star
but
Wars?
There's ways to connect them. Like the whole cool thing about Vaporware, they had the
It doesn't
whole
even sit.
Yeah.
with the whole ideology, like the surfing the web sort of aesthetic, kind of fits in with the cyberpunk thing. You can actually mix the two really well, actually. Like Tron's another good.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I also grew up on
Vaporware.
Hackers. Shouts out Hackers. That
Hackers.
movie, so.
Yeah, pretty
Fair
much hackers. Like that whole aesthetic. That's very vaporwave meets cyberpunk. Like the aesthetic that goes along with it. And like it's funny because I have so many different variations of the aesthetic. Where like I also have like the 1930s swagger with like fedora and shit like that with the rolling through. So
He's
it's
all
like
over the place.
I'm all over the place.
He's like a Judea.
Jadena.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's
What's that song?
classic, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And he
Jadena.
has like a suit and cane.
That
Oh,
bro-
he's
that
on some
bro
straight
is
pimp
aesthetic.
shit.
That bro, he's a light skinned brother who has his hair greased back. He wears like the finest
like,
suits,
waves.
like
Okay.
3-piece suits. Like he is wavy as fuck. Like honestly, as soon as I saw Classic Man, I was like, oh okay, cool. So my aesthetic.
That's what I'm going for. I feel that.
Fucking roll up on stage in a full suit. And just
Fuck, doesn't
fucking
Puff
chilling.
Daddy do the same shit?
Yeah,
He
but
pulls
Puff
on the-
Daddy don't jump around like we do.
Fair enough.
I still think Pitbull's the hardest in the game.
Mr. Worldwide.
Pitbull and Daddy Yankee.
Pitbull
Boy,
is so trash.
I can't
And Daddy
stand
Yankee,
Pitbull.
Daddy Yankee's on one of the hottest songs in the world right now, so I can't hate
Is
Daddy
he?
Yankee.
Like, bro, he came back from Gasolina from like to
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, Gasolina was
That's
fire
what it's
too.
about
Yeah.
coming on a girl's face.
Yup.
That's awesome.
He's on Despacito.
Oh, okay.
Yes, fuck that song though.
He's on.
Justin Bieber ruined that.
It's-
That song's a meme.
That song is a meme. Literally, one of those white girls. Oh man, I hate the Mexican culture. Fuck that. Justin Bieber gets on Despacito. Ooh, ay papi. I was like, fuck. All right, yeah.
But no, Pitbull, the last thing he did was for the fucking Men in Black 3 soundtrack.
Pitbull.
Oh, well, yeah, he was on the Men in Black 3 soundtrack, huh?
That's bad.
Yeah.
You know, he made a song with LMFAO, and it's probably like the worst thing you'll ever hear.
Oh my God. They were supposed to play at Taco
They did-
Fest, right?
No,
Or was it Salsa Fest?
Salsa, but no, they
Salsa
played.
Fest.
It was only one of them.
Yeah.
It was,
Apparently they broke up. Yeah.
Who's the tall one?
I mean,
Is
I
that
think that's
Red
Redfoo. Yeah. What's
Yeah,
the other
'cause
guy's
Sky
name?
Blue left.
Yeah.
Red Food Sky Blue.
I met this guy at Starbucks one day, and apparently he went to the same school as them.
Those dudes were like 50.
Yeah, they're fucking old as shit. This guy was old as shit too. So fucking fire truck. That's gonna be great for audio. But fucking yeah, apparently they're fucking.
We're on fire up in this.
But apparently they're like fucking crazy drug addicts. Like I was not aware of that, but I mean it makes sense considering
One of
you know.
the dads is like used to be the president of Motown.
Did was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's,
That,
The dude with the afro.
The short dude with the afro.
yeah, that's what I remember. It was something
that's
like
Redfoo, right?
Yeah, his dad was.
That fool was tall. That dude's like a palm tree.
Is it good?
hair.
Wait.
Or
But my problem with Daddy Yankee is that he sounds the same on every song. You can literally track what
Facts.
he's gonna do. He's gonna go English, Spanish, English, and then he's gonna go to the chorus, and then he's gonna come back in Spanish, then go English, and then go back to the chorus. Like that. Hey, tell me I'm wrong though. Go listen to any Pitbull song. Literally any
said Daddy
Pitbull
Yankee.
song.
Mhm.
Oh, did I say Daddy Yankee? I meant Pitbull.
Fair enough.
Fuck that nigga.
Mr.
Daddy Yankee,
What?
I ain't got no problem with Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee makes the type of music that he's supposed to make, which
Fair
is
enough.
like exactly like I ain't got no problem with people who are like within that same sound vein, like gimmick rappers and stuff like that. I ain't got no problem with them because everyone. It's sort of like that idea where it's like you never talk down to someone who's your waiter because they're serving a purpose for you. If they
Right.
leave that job, no one's gonna be there to wait for you. It's
Right.
like you have to give credit where credit is due for people for what they're supposed to be. I ain't got no problem with Justin Bieber's music. I got a problem with Justin Bieber as a person.
fair enough.
Like the way that he acts and the way that he does
Mhm.
things, fuck that. Like I just can't vibe with someone of that energy. And it's the same thing with like Pitbull. I ain't got no problem with how he acts. My problem is with his music. Him as a person, he could be a great fucking human being.
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem with that. But I can't fucks with your music if I can literally predict how you're going to say every song since the beginning of your catalog.
Right.
Like since the beginning of your catalog. No matter whose song you're on, you sound exactly the same.
Mhm.
And again, I ain't got no problem with him because he's making money off of this shit.
Right,
He's
right.
doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's hustling. I ain't got no problem with it, brother. But like, I just can't fuck with his music. Just me personally.
Makes
Can't
sense.
fuck with his music.
I just don't like Chris Brown. That's the only nigga I don't care.
Fuck that nigga.
If I physically, is that what you're saying? If
Yeah.
it's physically seen?
Exactly.
What do
I
you think?
mean, just in general, like beating women is not okay.
Oh, I mean, obviously.
All day.
Yeah.
But like, because I can't say if
I don't know.
like you're still a terrible person. But
Right.
if you got like famous Dex.
Bro, even if someone.
Oh yeah, what's up with Dex and that shit?
Famous Dex.
Oh, he was at a
Him and
venue
his
and he
girl-
just swung at his chick.
Him and his girl was fighting,
Yeah.
and he beat the shit out of her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
I
what is
understand
wrong?
arguing with your girl, I understand your girl fighting you, but when you over your girl,
And she ain't even fighting back. Like what?
fucking
Wait, was it
relax,
filmed?
bro.
Oh, yeah, it was security footage,
It was
right?
Security footage.
Yeah.
See, man, that's some shit I can get because when I was dating this one chick a while ago, man, like she
Wait,
pissed
beating
me.
women?
I can't. I don't understand that.
Okay, you don't.
I was like, wait.
Because exactly the way he
I
started.
was like,
that
I can
sentence,
get on that.
I was like, wait, but
No.
Are you
Man, she like
going on record right now?
dude, she pissed me off so bad one day, but like never once through my mind is like I'm gonna fuck this bitch up.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, because at the end of the day, there's one of those things like my girl, me and her have a conversation about feminism and all that shit all the time. And one of the conversations that we had, which was really funny to me, she brought it up, and as soon as she said it, I laughed because it made perfect sense. She was like, why is it that when men got a problem with feminism, the first thing that they say about everything being equal is that, well, that I should be able to hit you? Like, that's your first argument all the time.
Right.
Oh, if we gonna be equal, that means we fighting and like equals. It's like, why is your first intention to do harm to
Just
this
violence.
other human being because they're equal to you? Like, why is that your reaction? And as soon as she said it, it was really funny to me because I was like, that's sad that it's funny because this is so true.
Yeah.
Like, it's as soon as you said it, it's like, wow, that is the mentality of like people who think like that.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, well, I mean, if you and I are gonna be the same, then I'm just gonna punch you every time you piss me off. Like, you don't punch your guy friend every time he pisses you off, and if you
Right.
do, you're a shitty human being.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
So it's just that whole concept of it. It's like, that's fuck Chris Brown.
So why hit anyone in general? Is that-
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to fight with nobody. I'm just trying to live on my... I didn't ask to be here.
Mhm.
None of us asked to be here. We all got forced into existence.
Right.
We are all here on a floating rock, traveling millions of miles through space. I didn't ask for this shit. I'm not trying to fight nobody. I hate the fact that I gotta go out and work for money instead of just being able to sit and do whatever the fuck I want. I don't want to make movies. I want to fucking do all this shit. Why do I gotta work all day?
Suicide every day.
Every day. You wake up in the morning and you're like, I didn't want to be here. I'm gonna die at the end of all
I
this
saw
for
some
no
shit that a
reason."
10-year-old committed suicide
Yeah,
recently
he hung himself, or she hung herself.
Oh.
She hung herself.
over like depression. I'm like, what?
She was depressed and she was
right.
getting bullied.
That was the
Yeah.
thing. It was like because of depression. I'm sorry, because of
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the
and
first
she
time,
was getting bullied.
Like,
the first time I was diagnosed with depression, I was 9 years old. I remember the first.
Well,
time
yeah,
I
I could
went
see
to a
like
therapist.
in that sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, man, it's so wild to think that like 10-year-olds grasp the concept of suicide and can go through with it.
Yeah, no, it's
That's crazy.
it's really and it's the freedom of information. Like you literally like one of the biggest things that 13 Reasons. One of the things they like when that show came out, they actually went to talk to a bunch of different psychiatrists and they're like, okay, so what are ways that we can do this where people won't feel like glamorized in killing themselves and doing it as like a revenge plot for other people? And they asked, and they made a list of all the reasons why. And then directly after they made the list, they literally filmed the entire series the opposite way of it, so that it would glamorize suicide and the revenge thing. So they used the research behind it to make sure that they specifically appealed to that aspect and dynamic of suicide. And it's interesting because it's like you're literally prompting someone to be like, okay, this is okay. You can kill yourself. And if you kill yourself for a reason that's good enough and make other people feel like shit, then it's justified.
Right.
And it's like, no. So, I mean, it's not surprising to me when I hear about, like, a 10-year-old girl who, at an earlier point, who would have not had access to all this information, wouldn't have done something like that. Because you can literally see anything on the internet now. People create things all the time, and children are nothing but sponges. They just want to absorb and learn. And so because of that, if you're sad, and you see that you can make yourself, like, feel nothing by killing yourself and then make someone else feel a type of way about it, and no one tells you reason why not to, like...
Yeah.
You know it's talking to you, and it seems like a good idea.
Yeah, kids have one-track minds. Like, they can think about the consequences that go along with it.
Right.
90% of people who jump off a bridge, if they live, they always say the last thing that came to their mind was, everything that was wrong in my life, I could have worked out if I had tried hard enough.
Yeah.
And they regret immediately jumping off the bridge.
Right.
And it's sort of that same instance where it's like, you know, I like you said, niggas wake up every morning struggling with suicide.
Mhm.
You know, so it's one of those things you gotta have. You gotta have context, and that's something that I'm finding out a lot more as I get older. You have to have context with it.
You gotta be aware.
Yeah.
It's not just about you.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Feel
Exactly.
that.
There is other shit to be worried about out here than that little shit right now. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely, especially in our generation. Like we were talking about how like a bunch of like millennials have what was it? Emotional support
Emotional
dogs.
support dogs.
Yeah, and it's like numbers for that are just skyrocketing. And it's like imagine like 10 years, like psychological historians are gonna be like, what the fuck was going on?
So here's an inside track on some of that. A lot of the locations that you live at
Don't let you have
animals.
dogs. Yeah. So if you
register one as your support dog, you can have them live with you. Even
Oh, yeah.
if they don't
Some
allow
people
dogs
are just
to
using that. They
to
heard
get
that.
around.
Niggas heard that and they were like, oh.
$80 online.
Right.
$80 online. You don't even have to have seen a psychiatrist. You don't have to do anything. You can register any animal
Send you
for $80 right now.
They send you a vest and a
Yeah,
flyer.
They really do, and they let you know this is
I'm
my
walking
dog.
into the theater.
Yeah.
I'm walking into the
Anywhere
mall,
with your dog. Yeah.
I'm walking into church.
And I mean, if you
can't
think
tell
about
me
like
nothing.
the amount of millennials that come from like upper middle class and to upper class who are
Damn.
walking around.
you bring your dog to school with you and
Yeah.
kick it in class, dude. You know how many fucking bitches you could get, dude, if you got a little emotional support pug
Right.
or like an emotional support
And it
French
has-
bulldog,
It has the vest.
right? You walk around.
It says I'm working and shit.
Exactly.
A little
Don't
Shiba
get
Inu,
me
bro.
working. And then of course they're like, oh, but can I pet them? And you're like, yeah, absolutely you can. Leans back in chair.
Right?
And
He's going on his break in a minute. Give
He's
him-
going-
And you still remain you still remain masculine,
Yeah.
Mm.
but you're still like emotional because
Yeah.
they know what the
You're
dog's
sensitive.
for. Yeah, you're sensitive. You know the dog's for,
Don't-
but you're like,
Hold
oh,
on. Men, don't do this. Don't just go out and talk to somebody. It's okay. It's okay. Use your
yeah,
mouth.
you're not a bitch.
Exactly. We're all people out here,
You
alright?
can
It's okay.
cry.
You can cry. It's all good. Just go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
That was one of those things. There was an actress. I
Mhm.
can't remember her name right now, but she was actually just on record. She was talking about how, you know, like the only person that can, no one's gonna save you. The only person who can save you is you. Is go talk to a psychiatrist. You know, it's gonna take a while. You have to be patient because meds take time to like work their shit if you're gonna do that route. If
Right.
not, like you gotta be patient with the process. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be fixed overnight. Seriously, seek help. This is getting way too serious. Let's talk.
Yeah, this conversation got deep. We were almost getting into conspiracies like
Exactly
not that
right,
long
exactly.
ago.
Oh, just to let you
You're
know,
around the
when
corner.
I noticed that you mentioned that we are on this floating rock, just to specify, that rock is in fact flat.
You don't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Earth is flat.
wait.
Earth is flat.
You've never been in space.
I mean, look,
There's, hey, B.O.B. said so.
Here's-
It's
here's-
B.O.B.
facts.
said it, alright?
all right, but here's my
I
classic
trust
argument.
B.O.B.
He said
Here's my classic
Said
argument.
no one ever.
So yeah, that's why that nigga ain't popular now. Don't trust me. I mean, you can't even trust that nigga with music.
Oh!
but that nigga made a diss song about Odd Future. He got mad because they named him in Tyler named him in that fucking song.
Oh, that's right.
And B.O.B. got so mad that he made an entire diss track about Tyler, and then like literally tried to start a beef with this nigga. And Tyler was like,
Try to get some clout tokens.
exactly.
Didn't work
It's
out.
like no one cares, B.O.B.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, but so flat earthers. This is my as a person who is not a part of any conspiracy chain.
Right.
If I had conspiracy
That is
money,
false.
no.
Oh.
If I had shut up. If I had money, if I had conspiracy money, I would not be living where I'm living right now.
Fair enough.
I'd be out somewhere else in the fucking hills
We be
doing
talking
what I'm
to you
supposed to be doing.
via
Skype,
Skype.
yeah. This conversation would be from a studio somewhere out in
Audio
another country.
only.
Exactly. If I had
Tape on
conspiracy
fucking
money,
camera.
that's what I'd do. I don't got conspiracy money, so here's my question that I point to you, and I put it down as the simplest term as possible. I used to live in Malaysia for a little bit, all right? And so when I flew back from Malaysia, I was in the air for 23 hours.
Mhm.
But of course, I'm going through time zones, so
Yeah.
time's getting fucked up, right? I landed in Japan and watched the sunset on a Saturday, and then I got on a plane in an hour, and then flew all the way back to California, and then watched the same goddamn sun set on the same goddamn day in this country on the same Saturday. If the Earth is flat, how am I seeing the same sunset twice? There's no model that makes sense like that.
They basically are saying that the sun
is a small
and the moon.
ball. Yeah.
No, they spin while also spinning. That's what it is.
No.
It's like it's ridiculous.
No, if there was a celestial body of that size spinning like that, while also spilling in a counter motion, no, our weather would be fucked up all across the board. There's no model of flat Earth that I've seen that makes me think for even a second.
That's what makes
flat.
flat Earth great. It's like flat Earthers are like the kid. Like everybody else is the teacher, and flat Earther is the kid who keeps turning in the report, and everyone else is like, no, that's not it. Go back, figure it out, and they're all like, all right, we'll figure it out.
There was a meme. This guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said, okay, so if the Earth is flat, why aren't Mars and Uranus and all of these other planets flat? How can you say that the Earth is flat but not any of these other planets? And they were like, well, they've been observed to be round. And that was the answer
what?
that he thought. He thought he was one-upping Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, every other planet's observed to be round, but Earth hasn't been. Earth is flat. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm like reading this tweet. I'm like, you thought you were the smartest person in the world right now when you wrote this and listened to him, didn't you?
I was like, I got him there.
Exactly. This is the one. We observed it to be somewhat. So again,
our eyes are round. So
exactly. That's the reason why. Let me stand on a lake and obviously see these cities that are fucking miles apart on the other side of a lake. See, it's flat. No, dog, that's not how the curvature of the Earth works. Your eyes can perceive longer distances than that. Stop. B.O.B. on a plane. See, it's flat. What? No. No. It just hurts me, honestly. And like I said,
the horizon is
exactly.
straight.
It's straight, so it's flat. No, dog. It's an infinite plane. It just continues to stretch no matter how far you go. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You can't go to Antarctica because it's in the center and it's not actually on any of the poles. There is literally a lady who came on and she was like, I actually do tour guides. You're welcome to come on one of my tours and go to Antarctica. He's like, it's a military base. No one's allowed on the fucking continent. What? Who? This dude, like I said, this dude I worked with, he told me once, he was like, he said that every airliner, every astronaut, everyone who's ever been on a fucking boat who drives this shit essentially, is all being paid by NASA to lie to us.
That's a big budget, my guy.
That was like, he's like, why does NASA need millions and billions of dollars? I was like, because we're shooting shit into space and like doing all these other. Okay, well, you know, if the Earth is flat,
there are Americans that live in space,
right? Exactly. People. I fucking posted a picture that someone posted from space because it was during the election and they were like, "Don't vote Donald" or something like that. Whatever. So they took the picture on the window overlooking the curve of the Earth. And this dude was like, look at that fisheye lens that they took. That flat surface looks curved, doesn't it? But you can see right here where it's distorted. I'm like, bro, are you serious? He sent me a picture of the moon lander and was like, bro, let me tell you, think they made it, this looks like it's made out of tin and aluminum, alright? There's no way they would have survived coming back into Earth's atmosphere in this bitch. I'm just like,
okay.
Yo, how'd they discover there's no oxygen in space?
Right? Like,
you should just
no, they're lying to us, dog. They're being paid to lie to us.
Who died for that? Like, who's...
Oh, monkeys, I think.
Yeah. Monkeys and dogs.
Yeah, monkeys and dogs.
Shouts out Lakita.
And they had cameras, but they just didn't tell the public.
Exactly.
They gave it to the president, and the president,
All right.
But
Hush, hush.
look at all these animals we killed.
There's actually a wall.
So
I think there's a wall at NASA or something like that where they actually have a shrine to all of the animals.
Oh yeah, dude, and the same with Russia, the cosmonaut program they have. Yeah. It's the same shit, dude. Everything they sent out into space, if they didn't make it back alive, they would die
as heroes.
They were like, I kid you not, they were like they were state recognized like heroes.
Yeah.
Like,
I can imagine.
They died for the expansion of the human race.
Bro, it's like that fucking bearded dragon in Arizona that's like deputized, and if you step on him, you'll go to jail for like murdering an officer. They fucking have a bearded dragon. They trained to sniff out coke because apparently bearded dragons are really good at finding coke. And dude, he's got a fucking badge that's bigger than him, and if you step on him, that's assaulting an officer.
That is insane.
Fucking police lizard, dude.
I was
funny.
Lizard. Outstanding. Coke lizard.
SoundCloud Blizzard.
No,
Sounds like a
I just saw
SoundCloud rapper.
a dragon like scurrying. Oh fuck, dude.
Oh,
I
fuck.
like the goat. And SWAT.
Fucking that bearded dragon's a rat.
Oh, did you hear about the UFO documents that the
Yeah, my
Pentagon was-
crazy friend is trying to like.
Oh, the whole WikiLeaks thing.
Yeah,
Under
well,
that.
not I don't know if it was WikiLeaks, but like I don't know, was it the Pentagon or the FBI?
I feel like the Pentagon would be more
looking,
interesting.
they were looking into the UFOs and like any unidentified aircraft since 2000.
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's fucking Officer Hero.
Damn. You weren't kidding. Goddamn.
Fucking. Dude, no, I got a fucking buddy.
It would be better if they had a pistol. Like right.
Is that Rango? What the fuck?
Like a Glock is supposed to right next to it.
Dude, I got a fucking buddy who's like telling me about all these UFO files. He's like, yeah, it's like it's like a whole government conspiracy thing. He's one of those guys that thinks
Conspiracy was real.
he's one of those guys that believes in chemtrails. So I'm like,
Okay.
once he told me that like people in the government are lizard people, and he said it like non-ironically, like it does.
Dude, I love the lizard people theory. People, because those people are always in the same vein as like really cool conspiracy theories. So they're like ground level. So, oh yeah, dude, that's really cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, but did you really know?
Did you really know that everyone who works for the government
Is a reptilian.
lizards? What?
They're interdimensional lizard people.
You guys ever seen that one video of Beyonce at the Super Bowl where they paused it like, look, she's the demon, her eyes turn black, and I'm like, yeah, because there's a light right on her face.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I stopped listening to what he said when I found a jar of InfoWars pills in his on his desk, like the InfoWars like brain activators or something. Like that.
That's dead.
There's a whole scam behind that InfoWars thing. Like
Well,
all
of
those
course it's a
pills.
fucking scam.
InfoWars is a scam just in general.
Alex
Some of the
Jones is a
shit-
fucking genius, dude.
Alex
He is.
Jones is amazing.
It's one of those. There's a quote is
Alex
they
Jones
tried.
is so brilliant.
He is. There's a quote that they tried to
Gay
attribute
frogs.
to
The gay
fucking Donald Trump, but it was someone else who said it. But they were like, Republicans are the dumbest and easiest people to manipulate.
Yeah.
They tried to attribute it to Donald Trump, but it was some other person who fucking said it. But it's so funny because it's sometimes it's fucking true. Just like some of the shit that like comes out of their mouths is like people sit there and believe it because it's easier to play to their fears and their xenophobia than it is to anything else.
Oh yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Ugh.
There's this guy at my church who doesn't believe in global warming, and I try to like have a conversation with him about it, and I was like, dude, like they don't go anywhere. Like those conversations never go anywhere.
No,
Does
of
he drive
course.
a truck?
No, he doesn't. He drives a Mustang though.
Oh,
So if
of
that
course.
says anything,
For sure. So it's on the same level.
Right.
Those people are always cool because sometimes those people are just old and you can't fight with them. Like,
He's about-
if you're
he's about
60 or
30.
If you're like 60 or 70, I don't believe in global warming. Alright, whatever.
You remember that?
you're out of here anyway.
Yeah, you're like,
You're part of the worst generation alive.
There was this cat that we used to work with. He was in his late 60s or 70s, and he told us that dinosaur bones were put in the ground by the government.
That's what my fucking
specifically.
friend told me. Like, no dudes that don't think dinosaurs are fucking real, dude.
Yeah, no.
They're like, oh, it's all made up.
Yeah, by the government to test our faith in Christ. That's what he specifically
What?
told us. Yeah, it's to test our faith in Christ. Because dinosaurs aren't listed on Noah's Ark. They aren't like they don't exist in any of the stories except for the one where Jesus fights a dragon.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, Jesus fights a dragon in the Bible.
Oh, it's in Revelation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Don't sleep on it. Jesus fights a
Yeah.
Jesus fights a dragon.
Don't
There's a-
sleep on it. people.
Jesus fights a dragon.
It was also a unicorn.
There is.
There's also a
Like,
unicorn.
Because I mean, if you look at the mythos
Jews were
of
taking
Christianity,
heavy
like,
shrooms.
yeah, exactly. Like, if you
Yo,
look at
we're
the
back to
mythos-
the DMT Bush thing, man.
Exactly. Like that. There's actually a whole theory where it's like Christ, Jesus didn't actually exist. He's actually just a representation that has been shown through many religions. Where it's like Horus. Horus is one from Egypt where their
Yeah.
birthday is the exact same day on the 25th of
Resurrects after
December.
3 days, all
They
that, yeah.
resurrect
Oh,
after
that's
3
what I'm talking about.
days.
Aliens and Jesus.
Oh, aliens and Jesus in the same vein.
Jesus is just an alien.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As
that's
we
right,
just got
that's
free
right.
rosaries.
No, have you seen Prometheus?
Yeah, yeah.
So the reason why they're angry with us is because apparently Jesus was one of the constructors who came back specifically to save us and tell us like all the things that we're gonna come back and help them, and we killed him. And so
Wow.
they're mad, and so that's why they are coming to our planet to murder us and
Right.
everything with all those fucking black weapon ooze shit. They got it because we killed Jesus, who was one of their fucking people, and they were like, "Oh, you're just gonna kill our emissary? No, fuck that shit. No, we're gonna come in hard, all right?" And then they end up killing themselves because
Oh my god. Have you seen that Ari Shapir bit where he's dressed as a priest and he goes into a Jewish neighborhood, into a Jewish grocery store?
This is NPR.
Yeah. He goes into a Jewish neighborhood and he has a petition asking
Oh wait, no,
Jewish
I'm thinking of
people
Ari Shapiro, the amazing racist.
Yeah. Do you guys know that guy?
He's a stand-up.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian.
He one
Yeah.
of his most famous skits is he picked up a bunch of immigrants at Home Depot and drove them to the migration office in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took a bunch of immigrant day laborers from a Home Depot, loaded them up in the back of his fucking truck, and drove to ICE. And with a megaphone, just yells really loud, "La migra!" And he went through Compton, dude, in full KKK, the whole outfit, dude. And he brought it to a dry cleaner.
Nice.
In Compton, he's like, "Can you dry?" He walked into a liquor store with a giant wooden cross with it on. He's like, "Hey, do you have any lighters? I need some lighters." He's like, "Hey, do you have any of your friends have a front yard we can use later or get together?"
Oh.
Yeah, he's on some next level shit. Yeah, he was going around asking Jewish people to sign a petition saying "Oh, you need to apologize for killing Jesus."
Yeah.
Yeah, this was on another level.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, I think he should get the aliens to sign it because Jesus, man.
Jesus was obviously an alien. That's always my idea, though. This is the one thing that I will say about ancient aliens, because I believe there are aliens out there.
Okay.
They're I don't think that they're in the idea that we think that they are. I think there's different variances. There are gaseous life forms. I'm sure there are things that can exist in
There's other
multiple.
life out there besides us.
Yeah, there is just out there.
Oh yeah.
I feel like maybe even once or twice they may have even visited our planet throughout our history. You look at tablets and stuff like that from ancient paintings, and one of them has a flying chariot on fire and stuff like that. And if you think about there was this theory that the Native Americans who lived here when the Spanish first came, they couldn't see their boats because they couldn't fathom a boat that big, and because their mind couldn't fathom it, all they saw were the waves pushing in weird formations. And it wasn't until the medicine man was focusing and he saw the outline of the boat where he was like, "No, that's not clouds or anything like that. That's an actual ship and shit like that." And I like that theory.
They're just high as fuck. I think that's
That
what's
makes
going on.
sense too, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I always put it in this perspective. Imagine just going to a tribe in Africa and just bringing an iPad.
Yeah,
It's shit like that. They're what the? You know what I mean?
A tribe in Africa that hasn't been touched by civilization.
Yeah, one of those legitimate their culture has been preserved since their manifestation type
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, imagine going there with an iPad and
It would-
you don't even have to you just leave one there. What the fuck are they gonna think of it?
Exactly.
It's shit
Trying
like
to
that.
explain that it's even a phone. The idea that you can communicate with anybody on the planet right now with this device in your head. That even at the basic function, that sounds like magic. And there's I can't remember who the theorist was, but there's a fourth law where it was anything that can be explained by science to an unfathomable degree or something like that is indistinguishable from magic. Where it's even if we can explain it to still it's considered wondrous and magical. It can be considered
The fact
magic.
your heart is beating
Is
yeah.
it makes it magical. So it's the ideas and concepts that go along with. How you forgot what we were talking about stones right now, so I forgot what we were talking about. We're on this subject. We're all talking about this shit.
Sorry about conspiracy theories, bro. Don't worry.
I mean, we had the same conversation. Do you guys know 80?
Who?
80?
AD.
80. He's with Lil Rich and
Lil Masi. Yeah, I performed at the same show you guys were at a few months ago. We had the same conversation with him 2 weeks ago, about aliens and shit.
Oh, we were talking about the possibility of aliens.
Yeah, right.
Interacting with human beings. Yeah, I think that shit has happened. I think that shit has happened because again,
Oh, they fucked us.
yeah, that's what made us into humans.
No,
They came down and fucked some sexy monkeys.
I mean, no, they came down and fucked some sexy humans. Sure, they came down and
We can dig it.
I mean, evolution. I suppose that would be a format of that at that point, but I don't know about all that.
I'm with it.
But yeah, no, I feel like aliens have come to this point because again, a flaming chariot, though, that would be the closest thing that someone could communicate to another human being because that was their mode of transportation. So it's they don't have an idea of what a ship is. They're it was like a chariot, but it was on fire and it flew and it's all this other shit. It's okay, yeah, obviously because
Could have been us.
could have been us. Sure. Well, I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson says no time travel back in time would
No, not for us. You know, I'm just waiting until I see myself or something happens, like in Batman, where he sees the Flash. He's like,
Oh.
That's how you know when time travel's real.
True.
Because you don't know it's real until it happens.
True.
Gotcha.
So unless you know.
One of the things that I want to do in my life, it was a joke from a comedian. He said he wants to wait around and be in that moment where you save someone's life. And then when you save them, you go, your son's going to be a very important person. And then you just run away. And then,
This was great.
And then for the rest of their life, they're like, oh my God. This child is important. Your child will save the future. And they just run away. They will raise their kid like a fucking savior. It's just interesting.
Right.
Change that person's life forever and their idea of what reality is.
I kind of want to do that now.
There was this magician, what he did, he had a friend in a supermarket where he rolled up on this old woman, and he had his friend who had a child and just told him to be quiet, lift the child over the old woman's head. He was like, oh, you have something in your hair. And then he grabbed the child over her head and held onto it, and of course the friend quietly makes the way around the corner. He was like, oh man, he was just sitting there on your head. And she's just I didn't even feel it. And then walks away, and then she questions life for she's looking back. She's like I don't. There wasn't, but he didn't. And he's walking away. So of course you, the observer, you know everything that happened in it. But that woman's life will for a long ass time be was this real? Is any?
What is reality?
Well, exactly.
That's such a great metaphor for life too.
Plato talked about that. Plato's cavern, where it's everyone's trapped in this little box, and all they see are the shadows from what's happening outside, and so that's what they interpret life as. And one of them becomes free, goes out and experiences what the real world is, sees the sky, sees the grass, sees the trees, sees everything, and then comes back and tries to explain it to everyone else who's still trapped in there and sees the shadows on the wall, and they don't believe him that it's actually out there, because their entire world is based on what they're seeing right there at the moment, because they can't fathom it, they can't see it. But so that just in my mind is okay, cool, because fuck, aliens could have been here a long ass time ago, and none of us who aren't focused on it, seeing it in those moments, would have paid attention to it.
Right.
There's one time in my life where I still can't explain it, and so I just immediately go alien. And you were there for this one. This is the only time experience that I've ever had an alien experience, and I still can't explain it. So because of that, I just leave it be. But we were smoking on top of a parking structure in Claremont, and just out of nowhere, this green glowing orb is coming down towards the earth, and it's falling, but it's falling at a controlled speed, and it's glowing. It's just this light. That's all we see, and as it gets closer and closer down, further out into the Laverne area, it touches down, and everything blacks out. The entire city blacks out, and it blacks out all the way out to downtown Pomona. It was one of these huge blackouts a couple of years ago, and just in that moment, it disappeared, and that was it. I have no idea how the fuck it happened, but the blackout started from the point where it touched down. I don't know how to explain that. I can't say anything past that point because that's all I observed.
Cool. It was like a movie. It was as soon as it touched down, it went
all the way out, and then the lights were out for a good hour, an hour or 2 hours, and then that was it.
We ran down the city, everything was the light, the street lights was all everything.
It was
Damn.
pure darkness, and we just again, I can't say what the fuck that was. I don't know shit about what's going on.
It could have been just a meteor.
Yeah. It could have been. It could have been a million things. I personally don't know, but that's why I'm do I believe that there's life out there in different forms of existence that we just don't know or can't interpret in a way because we don't have the scientific knowledge to do so? Yes. Do I believe that they're constantly coming to our planet and abducting people and doing weird experiments and just
probing them?
And probing them and just throwing them back? No.
They say there's a lot of activity around military bases because they're interested in diffusing our
military strategy. Yeah.
Not lethal weapon.
Nuclear weapon. That's a theory.
Maybe that's why they haven't landed, because they want to get rid of them first so they don't get shot down.
Oh yeah, they're y'all could blow each other up, and this planet is too lit.
There's the theory out there, because I used to not sleep, so I always read into these conspiracy theories. But that's where I get my basis from. Where I'm I'm sure there are instances of it out there, but I don't believe it's as real as people try to make it seem like it's constant. But in one of the theories, they talk about how the reason why the nuclear crisis went down during like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and stuff like that were because aliens came down and said this is going to be an energy that can destroy the entire universe if used improperly. So please don't, and like turned off our weapons for us and then left. Again, if you believe that sort of shit, that's real.
That's
Me
when Area
personally,
51 happened.
yeah, like all that other shit.
Well, they declassified all of like Area 51 like a year or two ago. There's not much going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, most of the stuff that came out was probably like black bars
Yeah.
and shit like that.
What,
yeah.
as far as we know, they didn't redact. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the whole JFK file things that happened recently.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what they decided
Damn,
to release.
like,
exactly.
I'm
What
just
was
glad to
most
hear
of
that
it
Hitler actually like. I mean, not glad that he survived, but like, I was glad that like the theory was true, just because it's like now you know that like some of these like conspiracies are true.
True. Yeah. No, they're definitely.
What Hitler survived.
He went out to Cuba to
yeah.
like an SS Nazi like basically retirement camp
Yeah.
type thing. They all just like fled to Cuba and they all just like hid in Cuba, and Hitler died in like the 50s.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, I don't know.
Shit like that.
People say it's legit, and then like they're saying Tupac's there too.
Yeah, everyone's in,
Yeah.
well, everyone's in Cuba because of the relationship between,
Fidel and them.
and I guess just easy to hide out.
Well, yeah, it's like, because I'm gonna be honest, dude, if I was like wanted for war crimes and shit like that, I'd go hide in North Korea, like.
Somewhere where you had a friendship or
Or
a
fucking
relationship.
Russia.
That
No,
too.
because Nazis.
Is Snowden still
definitely-
there?
Huh?
Is Snowden still in Russia?
Yeah,
Snowden
I think
is-
Snowden's in Russia.
Reported in Russia.
Yeah.
He's reported in Russia.
Has anyone heard anything about who's the WikiLeaks guy?
Oh, Julian Assange.
Julian Assange.
He's
yeah,
still
yeah.
at the fucking embassy, dude.
Is he still at the embassy?
He's not leaving. I'm surprised they're still keeping him.
Yeah. He's at the Salvadoran embassy. You
They'd
guys
be
heard
like,
about
I'm
that?
surprised they haven't gone in his room yet. They're like, hey,
You gotta go.
Julian, you know, you've been here for a while. Do you mind if you start paying some rent?
Oh,
I can't. I don't have a job. Why don't you go out? It's like, I can't. I'll get persecuted by the English government.
Um,
Yeah, he made WikiLeaks and they just
yeah.
wasn't about it.
What? There's no free speech laws in England? Like,
Well, no, it wasn't that. It's the fact that he's released government documents. Yeah.
It's the stuff that he was releasing, not so much the fact that he was saying things.
And it's not even the fact that he released it. It's the fact that his company
published
released
it.
it. Yeah, that he
Yeah,
published
It's
it.
the community. It's like
Yeah.
the political fortune.
Yeah.
You're not
I was
supposed to
about to
post
say,
that.
yeah, it's like when people were persecuting Fortune and everything like that. It was like, it's the people on this that are the problem, not me as the owner.
It's
Yeah.
like you're posting child porn. No, I'm
No,
not.
I'm
Dude,
not. We
Sick
make
people.
dude,
We
Moot,
deleted-
dude, fucking
Yeah.
Moot was so done with all that shit.
Oh, dude, he's like, you guys are fucking ruining my money.
You know that we like, you know, 4chan, we like made him Time like Man of the Year one year, just because it's like poll. Whenever there's like any type of like voting system anywhere, they just fuck it up.
And Chan just made it.
Yeah. Like, dude, for the Mountain Dew contest for the new flavor, they ended up winning with Hitler did nothing wrong, and second place was Gushing Granny.
God damn it, dude.
4chan's fantastic.
Bro, it is. You know what's disheartening though? Like how far it stretches out. Like how like the last election, 50,000 people voted for Harambe. Like
Oh my god, yeah.
17,000 people voted for Hennessy.
exactly like.
Oh shit, do I still have the? Hold on.
Uh,
I think I got some Hennessy up in here.
are we drinking?
The little one.
I got surprise Hennessy.
Were you one of those people? Were you one of those people?
Yo.
that
I got the
wanted
Henny.
Hennessy? The Henny.
I pulled up to a party last night. We're like, hey, I brought a bottle. They're like, what you got? Hennessy. They're like, hey. They're like, the fuck we gonna do with that?
We're gonna take micro shots,
Right?
alright?
Just drops
Oh,
on the tongue,
man.
guys.
I'm telling you, if you guys go on any like specific boards, go to one of the meetups. Like a 4chan meetup is the most fun you will ever have in your life. I have been, dude. I kid you not. Like 6 months ago, because I go on auto a lot, and I went to one of the 4chan like car meets, and like everyone there was not as autistic as you'd think, and it's like we're all buddies now, and we all just like fucking play Initial D every Thursday night.
I love how that's
Awesome.
the praise for it. They're not as autistic as you think.
Dude, it's not bad. Like, I'd never go to a poll. I'd never go to like a poll meeting. I'd never go to a B meeting. I'd never go to an anime meeting.
I would never go to a BB.
I would
in
never
real
go.
life.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've been to a. I've been
You'd
to
leave
a
without your kidneys.
Right, exactly.
I've been to a B meet before in LA.
Oh yeah.
There were.
Was it in like public?
Yeah. It was at a fucking Starbucks. It was like one of the biggest Starbucks in the area. So it was like, because they were expecting like 20 people to show up, dude. And I walk in, and I'm like, no one's talking, no one anything. There's like people. And I'm like, am I the first one here? I'm kind of looking, and I see a guy with a fucking Kill la Kill t-shirt. I'm like, yeah, he's from 4chan. And like, he had a fucking fedora with an Evangelion pin on it. And so I go up to him, I'm like, hey,
Oh my fucking.
dude, everyone's just sitting at different tables all by themselves and shit, like not talking. And I go to one of the guys, I'm like, hey, you here for the 4chan meet? And he's just sitting down. He's like, yeah. And he just like got up and walked away. And, just left. And everyone just kind of sat there awkwardly. And I'm like, hey guys, like. And everyone just left.
The antisocial club.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Honestly, B's the only one I go on because everyone else
You
is.
gotta expand, dude. You gotta look at
Every time I go on poll, everyone's going off some racist shit. That's why.
You probably like R9K.
What's R9K?
Robot 9001.
No.
You'd like it. It's like, honestly, dude, R9K sometimes is just like straight sad nigga hours, dude.
I mean, yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Do you like that?
Deadass.
Thank you. Deadass.
Alright, I think with
on perfect.
and I think with that we're gonna transition into our next song. This one's Last Year, produced by Speaks Geek. Here he comes up again. Shouts out Speaks Geek.
Shouts out. Gang, gang.
Shouts out. Alright, for sure. So here is Speaks Geeks by We Are Skywalkers.
What? And then
What's the name of this song?
My bad. Shouts out Last Year by We Are Skywalkers, produced by Speaks Geeks. Yeah.
Okay, for me, first of all, dopeness is what I like the most. Dopeness. People who want to make things as dope as possible. Yo. Turn up. Yeah. Hey, me and my niggas with the shit, you thought we had Huggies and Pampers. Bro, you ain't talking about nothing. You might as well go start a show with the stanza. God damn it. Lame ass niggas can't stand it. I'm a leader of the team. Go green, come the planet. My dream's so big, you gon' need a panoramic and an ass so fat. Of course, it's democratic. Hey, last year, I couldn't ball at all. But now, hey, this year, I got these girls on call. And that's why I believe in the man in the mirror. HD, need a bigger picture. Mean Joe Green, but the generosity, oh me, oh my. I'm Gundam Fall, you better say goodbye. Cause last year, I was so alone. This year, I got several girls blowing up my phone. I'm in the zone, I'm a grown man, nigga, check your tone. My girl fine, if you feel the way I feel, to sing along. Hey, last year, I was so alone. This year, I got several girls blowing up my phone. I'm in the zone, I'm a grown man, nigga, check your tone. My girl fine, if you feel the way I feel, then sing along. Hey. What, you never heard of the king? I'm the seventh wonder, so the lady said that I'm supreme. Seems to be that you better stop believing in me, cause the way that I gleam is reminiscent of the dreams you had when you were young. So nigga, hold your tongue while I show you how to tear down glass ceilings for fun. Before I walk off the balcony and dive into the sun, cause I'm only getting hotter, so come niggas should run. Ha! Last year, I was afraid I would fail. Now this year, this nigga sipping from the holy grail. Goddamn. Critics better relax while I smash. Got hooks on tap, you ain't even gotta ask about this thug deficit. Mac is so lethal, interjecting my flow, so I'm killing weak people. Hey, last year, I was so alone. This year, I got several girls blowing up my phone. I'm in the zone, I'm a grown man, nigga, check your tone. My girl fine, if you feel the way I feel, to sing along. Hey. Last year, I was so alone. This year, I got several girls blowing up my phone. I'm in the zone, I'm a grown man, nigga, check your tone. My girl fine, if you feel the way I feel, then sing along.
Alright. So that was Speaks Geeks by...
you dumbass.
Damn it! Fuck it. You guys fucked me over with that one. Alright, it was Last Year, produced by Speaks Geeks. By We Are Skywalkers. God damn. It's been a long night, guys. Alright, so any final thoughts?
Yeah.
We're working on an album. It's called Non Plus Ultra. Google what that means. I ain't gonna explain it. Non Plus Ultra. Look it up. We out here. We have a show. It's the end of the month. You know, end of the year. We got a show January 20th at Cal State. San Bernardino. Shouts out. Streetglyphics, and
Untapped Hip Hop,
and Jay Meeks, and Speaks Geek, and
Productive Culture.
everybody gonna be out there.
Everybody
Check
gonna-
us out. What else?
Where's it at? When's the date?
20th.
January 20th, Cal State, San Bernardino.
It's
Yeah.
lit.
From 10 to 7, 10 a.m., 7 p.m.
It's gonna be a long show.
Festival thing.
Yes.
Oh,
A lot
nice.
of art, a lot of artists.
Yes.
It's a competition. Come out, support your favorite local artists.
Yes.
Like,
Niggas gonna be out there getting paid for the artistry. You know what it is.
if
bro.
they win this competition.
Yes, no more broke boys getting paid and fucking
Getting paid.
getting paid in fucking handshakes and high fives.
What does Drop say? Is I ain't got time for you bitches. I got money now.
Talking that moolah.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is great.
Absolutely, it was great having you guys.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
Anytime y'all want to
You
song,
guys.
Oh,
Yeah. Fucking go Casio Gang Watch over here.
Gang,
Casio gang.
Yeah, son.
Can't break the wrist. Already ice on it.
All right, so final shouts out. Thank you to Millennial Sounds for letting us use their wonderful studios. If you guys ever need any recording or production done, make sure you go to millennialsounds.com.
Sound it's
At millennialsound.com for more information.
and Instagram. Instagram's easier too.
And Instagram as well.
Shouts out to Urge Palette,
Get all-
best source for all art supplies in Southern California, especially in the Inland Empire region. Tell them we sent you. Now developing color film and black and white film for $8.
Why are you saying it like that?
Gang.
This has been The Registry by Western Youth Authority. I'm your host, Spicy Brown.
This is Giraffa, and this was We Are Skywalkers.
Yeah.